Well, it's a new day, Montreal Canadiens fans, and we have some really interesting news, updates, conversations, and a pretty interesting debate, too, to dive into in this video commentary. So obviously, the Montreal Canadiens, they're doing pretty well. There are some names that are projecting to looking like some superstars in the making. And then there's another entire other conversation about ethical scoring that we need to dive into too. So if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, stick around because we have the scoop here. Let's talk about Ivon Demidov. Last time we had made a video about Demidov, it was literally yesterday. We spoke about Demidov and the entire 1 year later conversation that dissected him and his arrival with the Montreal Canadiens a year ago, how he went from the most tracked flight on the planet into a Montreal sweater, and it was a really big surprise for everybody involved. Let's dive into what head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jon Cooper, had to say about Habs rookie Ivan Demidov. From what I've seen, his future, he looks like he's going to be fantastic. He is now. It's just about learning the game more. Age, experience, all those things that come with learning the game. If people are comparing him to Nikita Kucherov, it's probably testifiable. Oh, Jon. We love you, Jon. Not because you went out there and didn't coach Team Canada to a gold medal, but because the glaze this guy gives for Montreal Canadiens players is enough to feed an entire homeless shelter's worth with donuts. There is a little bit of a correction here. Habs on Reddit said, if people are comparing him to Kucherov, it's probably justifiable, not testifiable. But hey, this Kucherov conversation keeps on bringing itself up. Ivon Demidov, Russia's hottest new young stud in the making, to follow up in the footsteps of a Datsuk, of a Kaprizov, of a Kucherov. If you wanted to compare the guys side by side, this is what it looks like. Let's go over to Nikita Kucherov and his overall statistical page, and we will do the Elite Prospects Compare and Contrast tool. So Demidov, of course, he is 20 years old right now, which means that the season he is in is his 20-year-old year. He's got 61 points in 79 games played. When Nikita Kucherov was 20, he had 18 points in 52 Lightning games. So, yeah. I'd say Demidov has a pretty big leg up on what Kucherov was when he was 20. Give it 2 more seasons, 2014-15 and then 2015-16, at ages 21 and 22, Nikita Kucherov is only a 65, 66 point player. Now, sure, he really elevated his game in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, and that's one of the first moments in Kucherov's career where we started to realize, hey, this 21-year-old is oddly good. I mean, he only scored 65 points in the regular season, but he was near a point per game in 2014-15. He was over a point per game in 2015-16 in the playoffs. This, of course, was that time when Tampa was really good. They made the finals. They lost to Chicago. And then later on, they lost to some of the other teams earlier on. Pittsburgh won the Cups in 2016 and 2017. Nikita Kucherov, at age 23, scored his first over point per game season at 85 points and 40 goals in 74 games played, before becoming the 100-point scorer that we know him to be today. Kucherov at that point was scoring at a 100-point pace clip over the next few seasons. There were some years where he played 0 games or very limited games, but now he is on pace for 133 points, with games missed as well. Kucherov is so good, and Ivon Demidov is better than Kucherov was if you look at the timeline. So, thanks, Jon Cooper, for going out there and giving Canadiens fans more glaze to suck on. With that said, though, I wanted to shift our conversation over to a different element of Montreal player getting compared to another NHL superstar player. Let's talk about the Cole Caufield goal race, because yesterday he did score his 50th goal on the season. The Canadiens play 3 games compared to the end of the year. Obviously, Caufield missed 1 because he was sick, so he's got 3 more games to get up to the point production pace of 90 points and the goal production pace of 52. What are the odds that he scores 2 goals in his last 3 games? I reckon that it's probably decently high. But Cole Caufield ended up going 3 games without a goal, against New Jersey twice and then against Florida. He finally got the monkey off of his back to make it 1-0 yesterday against Tampa Bay. But interestingly enough, Caufield's gap in the NHL goal-scoring Rocket Richard race didn't really get any smaller, because Nathan MacKinnon also scored himself a goal yesterday, and it really begs the question as to the kinds of goals that are being scored and whether or not these are quote-unquote ethical goals. You see, the word unethical has been thrown around a lot by hockey fans over the past few weeks, from Calgary Flames journalists to talking about Vancouver and their unethical tank, to the Florida Panthers being labeled a team that is unethically tanking, and now the idea that some goal scorers like Nathan MacKinnon are unethically boosting their numbers to try and win that Rocket Richards trophy. Let's go out there and check out statmuse.com. And I want to ask it a very specific question. Let's search for how many empty net goals has Nathan MacKinnon scored in the 2025-2026 NHL regular season? That's a great question. Nathan MacKinnon has scored 7 goals on empty nets this year. And the one that he had scored yesterday, Mike Bartner's going out there and saying, yeah, that was actually an unethical empty net goal by MacKinnon. It's a Natchez Looney Tunes-esque running around, hounding the puck moment just to feed MacKinnon that empty net goal. Now, I don't want to play the clip, it's copyrighted, but Marty Necas ends up stealing the puck. That's him, with the puck just a few feet away from him on the left side of your screen. Then he curls back. The Flames defenseman dives. Necas then circles out in front. Look at all this space that he's got. He's got an empty net right there. Colorado can seal the deal. But instead of going out there and just shooting and scoring himself, Marty Necas then pauses, he waits for MacKinnon to go to the front of the net, he tosses it into the vicinity, and then Nathan MacKinnon backs it down and then he just throws it into the net like that. This team is gosh darn boosting, man. Nathan MacKinnon is going out there with 7 empty net goals on the year. You know how many Cole Caufield has scored this season? I think most of y'all Canadiens fans know the answer to that. How many empty net goals has Caufield scored? 0! This guy doesn't get any empty net goals. All 50 of his goals have been scored with a goaltender in the net. If you just do goals on a goalie, Cole Caufield is the number 1 guy. Nathan MacKinnon only has 45. Empty net merchant, eh? This begs the question as to whether or not there should be some more emphasis placed on this statistic, and whether or not Marty St. Louis could, low-key hold Cole Caufield back from winning the Rocket Richard because he doesn't give the guy empty net opportunities, or Nick Suzuki doesn't pass the puck to Caufield when he has an empty net in front of him. I don't know. At the end of the day, Cole Caufield is the 2nd overall goal scorer in the NHL right now. He's got 50 on the season. Nathan MacKinnon is ahead. There are 3 games remaining. We'll see what happens. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Ivan Demidov getting compared to Nikita Kucherov by Lightning head coach Jon Cooper? And how do you feel about the entire situation of Nathan MacKinnon and Cole Caufield duking it out for number 1 in the NHL in goals? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on. And Bye.